Your brother's a notary, Lori.
He is?
Oh, you didn't see the text? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. No, I didn't see that. Well, I found out on FedEx you can do it online, so I might just do that.
Oh, okay.
It's only $25
All
because
right.
I don't know when I'm going to be able to drive down to.
Who's it for? Your dad?
No, it's for the probate for my brother. We have to because Billy has a will and he left everything to Asia, but he didn't. He didn't disavow his son. What he didn't Vaughn. And so they think they're just worried that if push came to shove, the court could see Asia as the person who, or Wes Vaughn as the person who owns the property, not Asia, which is ridiculous because Asia's his mom and legal guardian. So, but they want us to do something. But then they sent a document, and we were supposed to sign in Chicago, and then they go, no, we need it ASAP, and you have to get it notarized. Oh, there's my dad. Hold on one second.
Oh, speaker.
Hello?
Hey, I saw on FedEx online you can do it online for like $25. So I'm just gonna do that.
No, well, no, don't. I just talked to the attorney, and when we're there, we're just going to go to her office and get it done. She doesn't need it beforehand. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I'm
So
not being
that's-
fucking difficult then. It
That'll
was
be sis-
that was what was
well,
gonna
you
happen in the
were,
hotel.
Laura. You're saying they should do it for you. Come on. You
Yes.
might be having a bad day, Laura. Okay, so but I get it. But so did you find anything out about your accident there or no?
I'm gonna talk to the insurance adjuster at 4. He's there. He's calling me, but somebody's been assigned, and they're gonna call me. I also filed.
there's-
I got my police report got approved, so I'm gonna
Oh,
send
that's
them.
good.
Yeah.
But if it's under, chances are it's not. But if it's under $500, maybe we'll, chances are, just go ahead and we just do it, and they don't count it. But
Yeah.
it's probably going to definitely be.
Well, the only reason I'm even doing it is because my bumper is a little popped out. It's not too bad, but
As you said, though, well, if it's
yeah.
that's all you can see. But chances are there's other stuff.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure it's not too, like the frame is indented.
For sure.
All right.
All right. Yeah. So so the third we get in. We're leaving the 29th, right?
Yeah, and then
So
yeah.
on the 31st, we're in the afternoon. We're going to go to their office and get it all done.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Dad.
All right.
Love you.
All right.
Bye.
Love you too.
All right. Well, never mind. But the thing is like, what's so frustrating is he was like, "Yeah, you got to go get it notarized today," and I'm like, "I have shit to do." He's like, "What? What do you have to do that's so important? This is about your brother," and I'm like, "Well, I can't drop everything." So I don't know.
I will say, Laura, I hate to say, I don't know if Jay agrees. When you kind of attacked him like that, my parents would have been like, "Watch your mouth." But your dad was actually pretty more reasonable than I would have expected your dad to be based on your stories.
I thought we would escalate the situation.
Yeah.
but yeah.
No, now that things are mellowed out, he's calmer.
Oh, okay. But I was just saying by you saying something about.
Well, because he
something
was like,
fucking
"Why are
difficult.
you're being so fucking difficult right now?" And I'm like, first off, it's not my job to find a notary. If they wanted me to find a notary, they should do their job. What is my mom paying them for? Just to send documents? I mean, that, I could do that. So, I mean, I don't know.
All right. Are we ready to start the tea?
Are we still streaming on YouTube? Because if so, I'm going to keep my camera off because I haven't showered yet. But if we're not...
Yeah, we're
then-
streaming on YouTube.
All right. I haven't showered, everyone, so...
It's only gonna be. It's gonna be. I'm not gonna post a video.
Oh,
It's
okay.
gonna be for. It's like for the 5 people who are watching live. I'll tell you how many people are watching right now. Hold on.
Well, then you get to see my oily hair.
Well,
What
did
an
it go
honor.
to the lens because I don't see? Well, I'm not even sure if it's.
Oh,
on.
somebody's
Let me see.
deciding to do sawing or something.
Girl,
Can barely
there's,
hear it on
there's
our end.
4 people watching.
Well, I've been getting stuff out of my car. Jesus, I had a lot of stuff in my car. So
All right. We'll
you guys
start in
wanna
10
see?
seconds. 10.
all that stuff was in my car.
Here we are for for bonus episode number 1. And there was stuff that we saw from Lori's car. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time of day it is where you are. We are glad you joined us today. Once again, an homage to a show that no longer exists by hosts who don't even like us, or don't even listen. The don't liking is the Lori part. Actually, speaking of, from Mar Vista, California, she's the one, the only, the star of the show. Miss Lorian K. Roggenkamp. Hello, Lorian.
How am I the star of the show?
You're just a star. Who's on the cover?
You put me on the cover.
Guys, I needed a cover for the tea, and I said, Lori, I'm really busy right now. Can you make the cover? And she sent me that,
I did,
like,
absolutely. I begged you not to put me on the cover. I don't want this ugly mug on any cover.
It's a
I
beautiful
wanna-
mug.
If
Speaking
anything,
of-
I would love our pretty boy Jay to be on the cover. That would
Speaking
be
of pretty boy Jay, he's the one, the only, the tanned. Actually, look at him. He's giving us like Bradley Cooper meets George, whatever that guy's name was. Maybe good I didn't know because I have a story about that. But George Hamilton. Never, I do have a story about George Hamilton, but now I can't say it. I can't remember his name. The one, the only, the Valley's own Jay Elizabeth Ellis. Hello, Jay.
Hi. Yeah. Can we make Pretty Boy J maybe I change that to my name?
Yeah, kind of your boxer name. You know, I was talking on Rulaska Thoughts about how I find this problematic boxer, very problematic, by the way, like the definition of problematic, named Ryan Garcia. And I know he's done horrible things, horrid things, right? I can't stop at how hot he is. He is so fucking hot. It's insane. Like, that's the definition of my type.
Can I tell you that he has one of the what I think is the funniest clips from the Donald Trump campaign, where he's literally air fighting. He's like doing that thing where he goes,
Yes.
and then Trump and
Trump.
everybody is just watching, and then he's like, Trump 2024.
Yeah. He's a big
It's like-
Trump supporter. He used like the N-word and was Jay just made a grimace. What happened, Jay?
No, you said Trump supporter, and that
girl.
automatically turns me
Everything
off.
wrong. Everything is wrong with him. Everything wrong. Multiple baby mamas, and he did something that he did this apology where he goes like, "I'm really sorry. It's really fucked up my life." But I don't even know what he's talking about. I do know because of this latest drama with the N-word and all that he's banned from UFC or whatever, or boxing. No boxing.
How do you know him? Do you watch?
From this drama. I didn't know who he was until this drama.
Oh.
He's gonna come back. I mean, look at how many times there's this fighter John Jones who is an
Okay, you
amazing
made up that
UFC.
name. That's not a real person.
There's
It's
a guy
real
named
person.
John Jones.
She goes,
It's a
there's
real-
this
look
fighter
him up.
named John
Look up
Doe.
UFC.
She was
John
looking around
Jones.
her room like,
Yeah.
there's a toilet, John. There's a Jones Pepsi. She's like,
You think I have a
Jones.
toilet right by my desk?
Yeah.
I
What
I haven't been there.
squalor do you think I live in?
Unlike Joe, I
hold
haven't
on.
been invited
Lori,
to the
I know.
apartment.
But Lori, I've been to your apartment. Your bathroom is about a 5-step walk away. It's not like
It
it's
is
like on
not.
another wing.
It's in
Okay,
another
turn
room.
your camera and do normal walk steps to the bathroom.
I can't. There's too much stuff in between. All right, see where this is?
See where this is.
Oh wait, shit. Where am I going?
I'm gonna
Okay,
give
no,
a
I can see
visual.
where that little thing is in the middle. Oh,
I
Yeah,
see an arm.
I can't. There's too much stuff in the way.
Okay.
I will say there is something about this depth of field that makes things look really far away and they're really not. So like, I think every time I see my office on the camera, I feel it looks really big. I'm gonna do normal steps to the door. There we go.
I'll count them as he
1,
walks
2,
out.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, Lori, this is like your bathroom.
Yeah, I mean approximately if I took big steps.
She said if she took big steps. Big girl steps.
Big girl
Yeah.
steps. Yeah.
Anyway, as we do, this is the bonus episode of the tea on the public feed only. Jay has graciously agreed to do this. I am really taken by Jay's tan. Oh, by the way, before we
Looks
get to
nice.
Jay, I want to make a pitch here, Jay.
Oh
Not for more episodes. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's tomorrow.
He was so
Lori
nervous.
and Star are coming. John Paul is coming. Christian and Robert and Salandra. We're all going to be in your hood on your actual birthday, which we would love to celebrate. Which you've already said you're not really doing anything.
How about if we promise not to talk about your
Yes,
birthday?
because I was telling Lori I have a theory yesterday about why you don't want to come.
There is no thing. My social calendar is a little full, so I'm just gonna pass on this
Oh.
one.
Oh, okay, you had said,
Oh,
Lori,
okay.
am I not wrong that he said, I don't know if it was on the air or off the air. He was like, I'm really not doing anything. Maybe dinner with Paul.
Yeah, we are. It's
That's
just
what I
Paul and me.
remembered.
Yeah, we're going to dinner tomorrow. The rest of the week is just kind. I'm using tomorrow as like a.
Rest day.
Yeah, I mean, ish.
Look, I'm like you. On my birthday, I did nothing and I loved it. So I'm just saying, we're in the hood, pop in for a drink, leave. I mean, all your favorite people and Lori are going to be there, and it's going to be fun. But we'll
Yeah,
miss
and
you. We'll, you
all
know what, Lori, we'll have a
Star's favorite
toast.
people and Jay
Yeah.
are going to be there, so it'll
Yeah.
be nice.
Yeah.
Lori, make sure we do a toast to Jay tomorrow in his honor then.
Okay.
And have Adam Salandra boomerang it for me, please.
Oh, no, for
Yeah.
sure we will do that.
Of
Which
course.
he denied. So, guys, we have a host on this network named Adam Salandra.
Oh, I forgot we have to give like
Yeah.
background now.
I was listening to episode 1. So wait, let me explain Adam Salandra first. Adam Salandra is a host on this network, and it seems like every fucking he does like a million stories over his weekend, and he's always at a restaurant with his sister and husband, and they are boomeranging drinks into a circle with their friends. Lori, we're gonna get to that. Don't worry. Lori's,
What?
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Lori, we're gonna get to
It
it.
just feels weird.
Okay.
That's why I'm touching it.
Jay doesn't know what we're talking about. We will get to it today. Lori, don't give it away. Don't do anything.
I'm touching. It just feels weird. I've been
Okay.
doing this all day.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
Jay,
know.
it'll be explained. Anyway, so Slander's a host in this network. The other thing, too, I've listened to season 5, episode 1, because former Afterthought host, Evan Ayers, I told him about the tea being on the public feed, so he went to go listen. He's become a big fan. But he did that thing that people who become fans do. And I got this message yesterday that was like, the mites. And I was like, I don't know.
What?
He's all like,
Yeah.
oh, this episode is really funny. And I go, oh, what episode? And he goes, season 5, episode 1. Jay, do you remember that there was where Lori had mites in her eyelashes?
Oh, okay. Well,
No,
now that you say that,
oh yeah, eyelashes. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
I have to be honest. The second we hit end,
Me too.
I barely remember some of the things we talk about, unless it's like a very egregious story. For some
Yeah.
reason, the live one sticks in my head, and maybe that was just because we had more details of things
Wow,
that
come
were
on.
going on.
Lori's brother died, and
Yeah,
your house
important.
got broken into. My
Yeah.
dad chopped his finger off.
Right, that was an important episode for me.
I was
But
really reeling from your dad chopping his finger off. That really affected me for a couple of days.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
wept during that, but then the brother died. She was telling jokes.
I was laughing. I was like,
Yeah, it was really weird.
she asked for a brick wall be put behind her and like a
Yeah.
mic stand.
Yeah.
yeah.
And, yeah.
I was like,
What's
Yeah.
the person I spent my whole life with is dead.
Yeah.
Ah,
you ever had that happen to you? Anyone?
anyone?
So, anyway, now that we have this out of the way, J. Elizabeth Ellis from the Valley, you look tanned. You sent us a video that you
Yeah.
said for the tea.
For visual
ahead.
reference.
The floor is yours.
Well, I'm so happy you guys noticed my tan because I worked so hard on it this weekend. I think who knows if I talked about this before, but my mom has, it's not quite a timeshare, but I'm going to call it that for the ease of the story. Down at Carlsbad, it's like a very Republican beach in San Diego County. Like, go down the 5 and you'll run into every white person that lives in Carlsbad. But we go there every summer if possible because the way that we have this timeshare, we get like a full 7-night stay there. So typically what happens is my mom will do like 4 nights with her sisters, so my 2 aunts, and then my sister goes down and swaps places with my aunts, with my niece and my nephew, and I will float down there for like 1 night or 2 sometimes if I have the time off with my niece and my nephew because I take them out to go boogie boarding. So this week
I've heard that term before, and I don't really know what it means, but it just sounds funny and so 1980s to say we went boogie boarding. I don't think I've heard someone go boogie
there's
boarding.
body
in,
surfing or
1987.
bodyboarding. Boogie boarding is the smaller like styrofoam
Yeah.
usually with like the plastic bottom, and then surfing, stand-up paddleboarding. Like there's like levels to it. But my nephew Asher does not really. He goes out further than my sister's willing to like take him. So when I go there, it's like all, you know, I'm taking him out to like chest deep water and helping him catch waves. So I got there on Friday morning, and the second I get there, it's like, okay, beach, like, let's go. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, uneventful drive there. It's like a 2-hour drive for me. Go to the beach for that day, but they had already been there by the time I got there for about 3 hours. So they say, we're gonna go back to the timeshare, which is across the street. Like you cross one street to get to the beach. So we're gonna start showers for the night, so that way we can all go to dinner. And I said, well, if you guys are gonna do that, I'm gonna read my book for a little bit, like another like 40 minutes, and that way I can just catch like the tail end of the showers, and I'll meet you over there. So I'm laying on the beach and I have my headphones in. I like to read with like a little bit of light music behind me. I'm reading a great book by Paul Scheer, highly recommend. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, I hear 3 women, like enough to like over my music, which is very low, but just they're having an argument. I
Wait.
always do what you want to do. You came to my hotel and like, I mean, just
Were
like,
their names Kathy, Julie, and Patty?
you know, I didn't ask, but one did look familiar, and she had just
Yeah.
come from a retirement party.
Okay. And she has to be a go-go dancer.
Yeah, and I would put them at ages like 50s. I would say like
Sure.
a range of like early 50s to late 50s. So of course I like close my Kindle and I do that thing where you kind of start like looking, but you don't want to make it so obvious that you're paying attention. But I kind of pivot my body so I can like lay and just kind of like watch.
Cut
I'm
to you're
pretending-
taking video of them at the end.
I'm also well we get to that. So I pretend like I pretend I'm on my phone when I really could just like have opened like my email and just started scrolling. But they're screaming about how one of the women came down and she hasn't wanted to do what the other. It's 3 women. How one of them did not want to do what the other wanted to do, and she's just being difficult. They're finally saying something because it's like 4 days in, and like they've just had it with this woman. So the woman goes, "If you guys don't like me so much, I'm leaving," and like gets up, grabs her sandals, grabs her towel, grabs like her phone. She takes the length to Lori's bathroom about 5 steps and plants herself back on the sand. I'm not kidding. They could touch her with their feet if they wanted to. And she's sitting there with her arms crossed, like huffing, like,
Yeah.
like just mad. So if anybody's on the Discord, I put the video there because I'm
Now I want to see it. Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
look at
in
it.
shock of like, wow, she didn't even storm off. Like she didn't have the energy to really storm off.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's
So-
those 2 women lying down are the original
The,
women.
the 2 women, I mean, props to them, Mama. They got over the fight the instant that she stood up. Like, they went calm, cool, collected. They were just going to take in the last little bit of the sun. The other woman, I think, was sitting there, like, expecting them to be like, no, like, Winona, wait, like, come back. And she just sat there, and they were there like that. I stayed for about another 10 minutes because, you know, I'm a journalist, and I wanted to make sure I got the end of the
Yeah.
story. Nothing changed. Nothing happened. Like they stayed like that until I packed up my towel and my stuff. But I loved it. Every second of it was just very delicious. I love that kind of stuff where it doesn't involve
That's
me.
hilarious.
Years
I love
and years ago.
love
go ahead,
drama
Lori.
that doesn't involve me.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
Years and years ago, when actually Lori wasn't here for this because she was on her tour. In 2006, I was in
I
this.
was not on a comedy tour.
I was in this comedy like group that would get together, and there was an actual very experienced comic who would watch us do our set. He'd give notes and stuff like that, probably like an acting class, but for comedy. Okay. And there was this woman. She was from the 80s. She was an older lady then. She was like she had done stand-up comedy in the 80s. Okay. Her name was Jackie Marishak. And she really was the definition of the like, am I right, ladies? Am I right? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And she'd go up under, but you know, it was sort of like we'd go in, and then the comic would say his name was Carrie. Carrie would be like, "Does anybody want to go first?" And it was supposed to be sort of like fair, and people would be like, there would always be that pause, and you're looking around like, "Okay, I'll go first," right? Once Jackie joined the group, it was like, "Yes, I'll go first."
Yeah.
And then you know the meeting was like 3 hours, and she would like intentionally take up like 90 minutes of the time, right? And somebody must have told Carrie something because he was a very nice person. So finally, like,
Joe was like, she's taking up a little too much time. I need at least 90. We're going to be running
no,
this
I
whole
said like
meeting."
not go. No, I hated that. So Shannon was in this group too, so Shannon knows this story. But one day Carrie was like, oh, by the way, Shannon was the first host of the tea, and she left after one season. We're
Far
still friends with
superior
her.
to me. So if
No,
you
she's
like
not.
me, then go to Shannon and you'll love her.
Okay. So then he, after like half an hour, he goes, all right, Jack, you know what? We're going to actually make time for everybody else and we're going to move on. And she fucking has a fucking fit, storms off the stage, grabs her giant purse, and storms out. Well, here's the thing Jackie Marischak didn't drive, she took the bus, right?
Is the bus
And the
still
bus
running?
stop happened to literally be right in front of the exit of the theater, right?
Yeah.
So we do the rest of the time. Right? And then we all walk out and she's just like sitting, tapping her foot at the bus stop. And then what's really funny is, as we were already laughing at that, at the whole, for a 90 minutes, she just sat there at the fucking bus stop waiting for those shit. So it's funny to go like, I'm out of here. I'm going to that bus stop 10 feet away, right? What's even funnier is Carrie felt badly. So he goes up to her and he goes, listen, I'll give you a ride home. She goes, okay, thanks. So he gives her a ride home and she says, you know what? Can you drop me off right here? Like it was like down the street. And he was like, no. I will drop you off at your place. She's like, no. She's like, no, please really drop me off right here. And he insists and she's like, ugh. And so he drops her off right in front of her place. Well, it turns out she was illegally subletting this apartment or against the lease. And the landlord saw, and then she got kicked out of her apartment
Oh.
because Carrie had dropped her off in front of the place. Oh my God. Shannon and
Wow.
I to this day still laugh about this. Lori, how can you jump in here?
That's sweet revenge.
I
Yeah.
will say I do think it's a little shitty that Carrie was like, I'm gonna drive you to. I would have been insistent. I've been like, no, stop here.
Well,
Like
look,
if you
yes.
knew
women.
that this could get you in trouble, I would have been like, absolutely stop here. I
Yeah,
am
was it
telling
her
you.
pride? Like what made
Yeah.
her not
Carrie
tell
was
him?
also weird. There's actually a really funny story with another friend of ours where he asked another female comic friend of ours to join him and this other guy. He had this paid gig, like in San Luis Obispo or something. And she was like, okay, great. And they shared a car and Carrie drove, but it was really hot. But he wouldn't turn the air conditioning on, and
No.
insisted that the windows stay rolled up, right? And they were all
Why?
sweating. I don't know. And they were all sweating. And Jill's her name. Jill asked Carrie if he could like at least roll down a window, and he was like, no, or something like that, right? So at the end, the other comic didn't say anything, but at the end, I think this is a good line. At the very end, when they got there, the other comic was like, well, Carrie, at least when you sell the car, you can say it comes with the original air.
Why? I mean, what's the you don't you
Comics
have no
are
idea?
weird, Jay.
I once went. I didn't go. Sorry. This guy a comedian I knew. He was trying to get me to do like road shows with him,
Yeah.
and he was talking about he got frustrated with this guy because he wanted to go to the bathroom, and he's all like, "No, we're not. Absolutely, I'm not pulling over." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you would pull over if
Yeah.
if I was in the car." He goes, "No, I wouldn't." I go, "I make you pull over if I was in the car and I had to go to the bathroom." And then he never asked me to go on any road shows with him.
I feel
I was
like
like,
there's some things you
absolutely
can't
not.
deny. Like
Yeah.
like didn't you throw up out of Joe's? I mean, Joe,
Oh,
did you
yeah.
just slow down? Like yeah, it's like you
I
gotta.
pulled over and just right there on the side of the road, she just vomited.
Yeah, you just gotta
Got
like.
in the
There's
car
some
and was
things.
like, okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if it's like, oh, I'm feeling car sick or something, I don't know what you could really do about that. But there's some things that you just kind of have to adhere to. But okay, sorry to, I'm not done.
Oh, the story's not
technically.
done. I
Well,
thought that was the end of the story.
that portion is. So
Oh,
then
okay.
I stayed until Saturday morning, and I'm driving, or Saturday like afternoon, and I'm driving home. And about 4 months ago, my car, the little check engine light and something that says TRAC off comes up, like track off.
Okay.
Now Joe's texting Lori. Oh, I thought he
No,
was.
no,
done.
no, no, no. I'm looking for the topic for today. Lori, who texted you?
Star. I had asked
Joe
her if
Chance.
she knew anyone who was a notary.
Did you pull like an APB out, Lori, for the
Yes.
notary?
For a
Okay.
notary.
Well, yeah, because my dad was like, "We have to get it done today. It has to get done." And I was like, "Why? Why does it have to get done
Well, why
today?"
couldn't your dad do it?
He's no longer a notary. He
No,
let it
no, no, no.
expire.
Wait, first of all, wait, stop. Stop. Stop.
You know,
I'm-
I used to be a notary, but I never did anything because I was so afraid that I was going to screw it up that I just never did any notary, and I just let it
So-
expire.
When I was
So-
younger, I thought it was Notar Republic, but
That's a. I mean, that's like I would say if it's a like a 5, it's like a 5 to 7 hour class, could be longer, and then you have a test at the end, and they probably, I mean, at least 1,000 times said, "Don't say Notary Republic." Like
well,
they
I
were
went
like,
the whole
it's
class.
Notary like they were like, with that, it's not Notary Republic, it's Notary Public. You know, like it was so that was like the big sticky. The only
Did
thing
you-
I remember from that class was
Did you
that.
frame your diploma?
No, my dad got 100% on the test, and that was like a big deal.
I better.
Why are you all? Why? What went through your family to make you guys all?
Yeah.
Is anybody else?
My dad, my mom, and I went and took a class. So my mom, my dad had to get notarized for work. They had, because if they got notarized for work, then they would get extra money.
It's like
And
CPR
so,
training.
and then they were like, "Do you
What
want to
year
do
was
it?"
this?
Because
What year was this?
oh man, it was a while ago. It was probably while I was
2020.
still in college, so like 2010.
Oh, okay, never mind. I
Maybe
know,
even
I
earlier.
know during the pandemic, you could make a lot of money as a notary public
Yeah.
because they had a shortage in what was going on. But that wave has gone. But yes, go ahead.
Really?
Well,
Mhm.
what's interesting
right,
is,
Norman.
so technically you can only charge $10 for the service for actually doing it. However, you can charge whatever you want for like travel expenses, you know, that kind of stuff. So people will charge like a buttload of money. But that's one of the things that made me like, oh, so suspicious, because at the time my aunt was getting her house refinanced, and she had to have a notary come, and the notary was like, well, she was basically saying for the services, it's a $250. I go, no, for the services it's $10. You're tacking on the $240 extra.
Are you allowed to notary public? Notarize on behalf of your family, or is that a conflict of interest?
Yes, actually, strange. My
Yes.
brother told me about how you do this, but there's some special thing you have to do. I can't remember what it is.
I mean, I can't notarize things that I would, if I was still a notary, I could not notarize anything that I signed, because essentially a notary is just saying like, I saw this person sign this.
Right.
That's
Mhm.
it, right? So I can't say I saw myself sign it. And so yeah, but I had two people. One person, I think it was like an immigration thing, and they were like, "Can you notarize this?" And I was so afraid that I was going to screw it up that I was like, "I can't do it." And then another friend of mine was like, "Can you notarize this wedding certificate?" And again, I said yes, but then I was like, I got so nervous that I was going to screw it up.
Is it hard? I don't know
No.
how much it's hard.
It's
You
just like-
watch, right?
From what I remember, and this was a while ago, you have to like watch them sign it, right? Then you have to get their thumbprint, and then you have them fill out like a page of your booklet, and then you sign that area that says like, oh, I know, and then you stamp it, and you stamp the signature.
Okay.
But I mean, they would tell horror stories about like people would not watch the signature; they would like look away. So then like they would have to literally redo everything. So it was like a whole mess.
Okay, I do have kind of a hard out today, so like I want to keep it to an hour, so I want to hear the rest of Jay's story. But
Oh.
but Lori just randomly dropping that she used to be a notary public, that her dad was a notary public. This is all classic Lori to me.
I
Do we
thought
think-
that I've actually thought about redoing it, but it's kind of expensive. But
and
I
for
mean,
what? Like what? For why? Yeah.
well, if you do the notary thing, and if you do it for like a year, you can then you can apply to get like I forgot what it's called, but it's essentially a license to like work with mortgages and like that you could just do online, and that you can actually make a good amount of money from. So you just essentially like process mortgages. I think it's a loan processor or lender processor or something, and that's all you do is you just like send things out to people. So I've always thought about doing that, but you have to pay money
Okay.
for it.
I want to move on. But I do have a question for Jay. Jay, imagine you were getting a mortgage, you and Paul, and you find out Lori's the loan processor. What would your reaction to that be?
yeah, get an appointment ASAP. Also, Lori's like, the travel fee is $400, and I'm like, I'm coming to you though.
Yeah. But that's another thing that I like. I'm not a good salesperson. So like that was always the thing is like and they were
I don't
like,
know if
what's
I
your
think-
fee? And
Wait,
I would
but
be like
Lori,
$20.
How are you selling yourself as a notary public? Are you standing on the
Because-
corner with a clapboard and like?
No, because you have to say
Or
like,
corner?
"Hey, this is my expenses. Like, these are my fees," and then people be like, so I'd always get afraid that people would be like, "Well, why does it cost that much?" And then I'd have to like break down stuff. So I was just like, "Just give me $20." So I would just like, I wouldn't even like charge, and then I ended up not going through with it. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right, Jay. So what's the next story?
Okay, so I'm driving home from Carlsbad. I like put my day in, so it's like 4 o'clock on Saturday evening, and I'm driving in my car. About 3 months ago, I think I said, had this thing where the check engine light came on, and then something that said track off, and when that happened last time, my car completely, like about 15 seconds later, my car would not click to the next gear. It was almost like I was in neutral, but I couldn't go, like a belt was gone or something. So I was like, oh my God, like I'm in Irvine. I'm about an hour 15 away from home. I'm going to just like pull into the slow lane now, because if that happens again, I can call AAA or do whatever. So as I'm merging, a car like is honking at me because I'm going slow just so that I don't, I don't want to break down. I'm in the fast lane. I don't want to
Did you
cut
put
off
your
like
hazards
3
on?
lanes of traffic. I had my hazards on, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they're like blaring, like tailgating me because I'm crossing through their lane, and I'm there for like, you know, the normal like waiting for the next gap, and then I'm going.
yeah.
As soon as I'm done, they like speed off like and make a point of it, like like gone. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I don't think anything of it. 10 seconds later, I mean, I am frothing at the mouth telling me this. A cop pulls up and saw like that car zoom and turns on their lights, goes after that car, and I see them getting pulled over, and I'm like, this is the sweet justice that
is-
we
that
all
is so
want.
great.
We
You know
all
what?
want.
Let me
Because
tell you
the
this,
guy
if
went
this
from
would have happened to me, the light in my car that came on would have said "jack off," because I would have masturbated right there to the thought of that happening right in
It's-
front of me.
It was gold. I mean, this is like what dreams are made of. And I said, that's the first time it's been right place, right time. And usually I'm ACAB, you know, but this time I'm very happy that a cop was in the right place at the right time. And because he went from like 75 miles per hour, pushing me basically to go like 90. So I don't know what he got. But when I mean, I drove by because they were already like pulled over onto the shoulder by the time I got up to where they were. Oh, it was so nice. It was so like vindicating. My car made it to the house, and I made an appointment with my dealer the dealership, because I just put in like $2,000 into my car, and it's not that old. So I don't know what happened, but I want him to look at it and confirm that it's nothing like that they did recently.
Segue, plot twist. It was Sergio. Now, let me do the segue. Jay, what is going on with your lawsuit? Supposedly, your court case is this coming Monday.
It's technically on Monday. There's two things happening right now. I saved this for the tea so I could get your guys' live reaction. I created a dummy Yelp account, and I've trapped Sergio into answering a new message from Craig Kilborn.
Wait,
No.
you picked the name Craig Kilborn, the original
No.
host of The Daily Show?
No.
It's spelled differently. It's spelled
Oh, okay.
And the
differently.
Late Late Show.
And no, wasn't that Craig Ferguson? Is
No,
Craig Kilborn both?
he took over for
Oh, okay.
Craig Kilborn can't hold on to a show, is what we're learning.
yeah.
You know, I'm realizing that the name sounded so familiar, and maybe that's what's going on. Anyway, he
Oh,
responded.
you weren't intentionally harkening
No,
back?
I think I had it in my head, and I was like, I want something with alliteration. If I get to choose
Yeah.
a name, why not? And I went with CC, because Kilborn I spelt with the C.
Oh, okay.
So he wrote back, I'm going to say in less than 10 minutes, saying, absolutely, taking on new jobs, would love to have the opportunity to clean your rug. I said it's going to be a little rug. So I was like, okay, great. So he exists. He gave me the same number and everything. So I'm like, okay, cool. So now this is where I'm at. It's a crossroads. Our accountant for my boss is working with our home insurance, his home insurance, to see if they can claim it as property missing and just get a payout for the thing. That way we don't have to deal with Sergio anymore. I can just review bomb him, be done with him, whatever. The second option is I lure Sergio into a trap and
Serve him.
serve him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get an extension on the court date, because the court needs at least 5 business days beforehand to ready the commissioner. And so it's not going to happen before Monday. So after this, actually, I'm going to look up getting extensions and how much they can give, because that's kind of the route I want to go. I really want to serve his ass. I know he's not going to show up, but
Jay.
I know. And Joe, you will be involved. If that happens, you will be the one serving.
So a lot of segues into here. I want to talk about my birthday party, and I didn't know this part of the story. That is shocking information.
Mm-hmm.
But we did get a mini update at my Gays Who Graze birthday party,
Right.
and Lori and Star were invited, but they couldn't go because they chose something else. And no response, Lori.
No, we did.
Oh, okay.
You
And-
laid it out there, and she said, "Yep."
Yep, that's true.
Asking
and,
you receipt.
and I told Jay, I said, listen, and I volunteered Lori. I said, Lori and I will serve him.
I would love
If
to.
if we let us do this, we will find him. I don't know if Jay knows this. I would have done something similar to Jay. I would have said, hey, I need this thing taken care of. Can you
Mhm.
come pick it up? And then I would have been like, you've been served. And then I would have done like a little spin and a dance, and then I
Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
high-fived Lori.
Yeah.
Right.
We should do like a spin and go, and then
Yeah.
high five each other.
And
I
I'll
am
carry like a
afraid
little fake
to-
electric guitar.
I think if I involve Lori, it's going to turn into another lawsuit of like
Yeah.
assault and battery.
Well,
I think
Lori
you'll,
will
like-
have.
I think
Lori
you'll
will have
backbreak
her
him.
notary public badge.
You don't get a badge.
I don't
She
think
goes-
you know who you're dealing with.
You
She
don't
goes,
get a badge.
I am a notary. I'm from the Notary Republic,
You
and
do
I'm
not-
here. to
Notary
serve."
Public.
I'm the notary public. Shit, that's the one thing I remembered.
Yeah. No, they were pissed. Those people were like they were so like you would have thought. I think at one point they were just like they intimated that it's like their N word is calling it Notary Republic.
You know,
All right.
I had
And I
a
was like,
newspaper.
okay.
I had a humor column in college, and the sort of the point of the humor column was I'd go and try out different things at the college.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things I did was I quote unquote rushed a fraternity. And so I was there, and they had this thing with like the pledges or whatever, and they would tell you that it's not a frat, it's a fraternity. And I know this is famous. They weren't the only one. They didn't make this up, but they were like, you wouldn't call your country a cunt, right? And except nowadays
I would
might,
right now.
actually. Yeah, but we know Nathan would. So
It would be a
Nathan, by
count,
the way,
actually,
is the
yeah.
host of the other show, the complimentary show, The Best of Today. And he
If
will
you
be
like me,
sitting
you'll
in
love
for Jay
Nathan.
this
He's
year.
even better. Yeah.
What'd you say, Jay?
I said, if you like me, you'll like Nathan. He's even better. I'm giving the same answer for Shannon.
Yeah. Nathan will be sitting in for Jay for the rest of the year after Jay leaves. But anyway, so that is the country a cunt. You wouldn't call your country a cunt. So like people have a thing with like shortening or getting the names wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't get it.
So Gays Who Graze, it was my birthday. I'm gonna tell this story real quick, then we'll get to Lori.
Really nice birthday.
No, it was a very I like things very chill, very mellow. Yeah, it was a very, very good time. So Evil John got there first. And the Johns got there first. They're walking around and talking to my parents, whatever. My parents are floating around. They are like literally walking around, talking to John Paul. And I'm like doing the last touches on the grazing board.
Can I interrupt real quick? Sorry.
Yeah.
And they know, obviously, John Paul from you guys knowing each other for years, but how often is Evil John in the mix with your parents? Like enough for them to kind of know a little bit about him, or what?
Oh yeah, they know about him. I would
Okay.
say like once or twice a year.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, Evil John's floating around, and he's like loud too. He's like, I was listening to this. I'm chopping, and my parents are floating around. He's like, I was listening to this podcast today, and they were saying if you eat a lot of celery, it's good for your cum. And I'm like, what, John? What? He's like, what? They said you cum a lot and it tastes good. And I was like, it was so gross. Oh,
Joe,
I
Joe,
know
if
what I
you-
need to talk
I
about.
think when your camera tilted down, I saw a big bowl of celery. Is that
Oh yeah, I'm like
unrelated or?
oh my god. Let
You
me
were
just
like-
tell you,
Evil John, stop as you're pulling celery out of the fridge.
I'm like Bugs Bunny with green celery. So, one thing that nobody else saw except for me. So, like this other Mexican family was having a huge party. So my dad cleared our cars of the driveway, and Jay and John Paul parked.
Yeah, we
in
were
our
bullied
driveway.
into parking into the driveway.
Yeah. So John Paul leaves, whatever, and I'm in the front yard saying goodbye to everybody. So my cousins and his boyfriend leave, and then and Jay is everyone up at the same time, but Jay's the last one to pull out. It was Lori. It was like that scene in Austin Powers when Austin Powers is trying to like parallel park or get out with that little golf cart or whatever.
Yeah.
Jay, I wanted to take my camera out and film him so badly. He was struggling so hard.
Joe, don't you dare. In my defense, a car was parked halfway into the driveway, and John Paul had the easy one. And I'm like, I don't even dare ask whose car this is because I'd love for it to be scooched back like a foot or two.
Jay,
I
it
thought it was
so
more like
funny.
Baby Driver. I thought I did it excellently.
You thought you were like, big.
Lori, it
You
was
just
like
put headphones in your
he'd, be
ears.
like, he'd go up like a foot, then back up a foot, then go up a foot, go back a foot. I just sat there. I'm not sat. I stood there
Yeah, you could have
staring
helped.
at him the
Honestly,
entire
you could have
time.
hopped in there and just, given me like the arms, like, you're this
No, it was
close
so
to the planner.
entertaining. Yeah, I was just watching him as he
It
just
took him
tried
like
to
30
leave.
minutes to leave.
Yeah,
Bye.
I wanted to be home at 10, and I ended up leaving there at 10:15 because of how much drama I had.
Yeah, I actually, it was a very nice time. Besides that, were there any other stories, Jay? I mean, it was pretty mellow, just hanging out.
It did feel like what I would imagine like the old parlor parties were, where it was like, should we go to the sitting room now? Because we
Oh, yeah.
moved locations, nothing changed. We just would have conversations in different rooms.
Yeah.
So we hopped from the living room to the dining room to the patio, and then had cake back in the dining room. So it was just kind of
I'm
like
going to tell you something, and we solved the mystery too. I'm going to tell you something.
yeah, it turns out
My
it was Evil John
parents
with
were
the candlestick.
pissed. They go, "Did they sit on the side of the house?" And I go, "Oh no!" I couldn't figure out how to turn the lights on. What? There's a remote control hidden in the plant, and it turns on. And my mom is like, "I can't believe they didn't sit on the side with the fountains in the garden." And I was like, "They didn't. We were fine."
We've been over there before.
Yes.
I think it was Richard's idea to sit at the patio table because it had more of a
Next-
breeze.
Next time I go over, I'm going to be like, man, I wish we would have sat at the side of the house.
Oh, it'll be set up for you, Lori. It'll be set up for you, Lori. What's going on with you?
Yesterday, old lady, I'm assuming it's an old lady, hit my car, backed into my car, and drove away.
Yeah.
Oh no!
And, I was in the Whole Foods parking lot, and I was backing out, and then I
in
turn
your
over.
SUV.
Yeah, my mini SUV.
I can't believe you're in a huge SUV.
And I turn around, and this lady starts backing out. So I put my brakes on to be like, are we gonna back into each other? And then she keeps backing out. So then I'm like, I go forward. I'm gonna go forward, and then she just guns it and just totally hits my car.
Oh.
And then puts it in drive and drives away. So I back out, put it in drive, follow her. I'm honking at her, like telling her to, go pull over. She not paying attention. I try to get up to the side of her to get her attention, but she keeps speeding up. So that's why I feel like she knew what was happening, but she was just choosing to ignore me. I follow her for like half a mile. I call the police. They're like, don't keep following her because if she gets in a car accident because you're following her, you could be liable for that. So then I was like, well, what do I do? And she's like, just take a picture of the license plate. You can do the report online. So I take a picture of her license plate, and then I just stop following her and go home. But it's not too much damage. There's like some scrapes on my bumper. The only thing is my bumper is like a little bit popped out, just like a tiny bit. But I'm just worried that like that could be, something worse down the line.
It always feels like you're like, oh, that can't be anything, and then they're like, oh, your whole frame is like fucked.
Yes.
Like we're gonna have to
Yeah.
replace and body work and all that.
Yeah.
Are there not cameras in Whole Foods just to have like an extra in
There
case
might be. I don't
if
know.
she fights it, which it sounds like she might if she's trying to flee
Yeah. There might
or
be.
witness?
Well, no, if you have the license plate, you're confirming. I really want to get a
I should get a dash cam.
a
You
dash cam.
guys, I ordered
Oh,
one.
did you just?
Ooh.
It just came
Oh.
in today. It was on. I was like, why am I not? It's like it just streams and loops every 24 hours. So if you have to pull anything from it, you have a day. And I'm like, I feel like that's enough time
Yeah.
to kind of notice. But
I want to get a rear one and a front one.
smart.
Yeah. Most
smart.
of them do come with rear. The only issue with the rear one is you have to like put it along the edge of your car. And it's like, but I'm sure you could get somebody from Geek Squad to do it.
No, because do you remember, Jay, when I had that Lexus and that woman hit the side of my car and I couldn't even open the door anymore? And
Yeah.
it was her fault. She admitted it was her fault when she got out of the car. She admitted it was her fault. And we went to insurance and they ruled against me, which was really weird, even though she admitted it was her fault. They were like, well,
That's
did you have a
weird.
witness say it was,
That
it
is
was
really
her
weird.
fault? Yeah. And I go, no, she just told me it was her fault. And he was like, well, and that's annoying. So that's why I'm like, I want the dash cam. I'm always
Yeah.
convinced it'll be able to disprove something.
I don't
yeah,
know. There
Lori-
was a I watch a lot of police videos, And there was this guy
Don't say
who,
it.
Don't say it, Lori.
what happened? He got pepper sprayed, I want to say, or something. I mean, he was like one of those auditors, those annoying people that like just film people outside of businesses.
Oh yeah.
I think you mean
uh-huh.
frauditors.
Yeah. So he was filming, and she came up to him. Oh, no, this is what it was. Sorry. He was in a parking lot, and this woman was like yelling at another person in another car. So he started filming. And he was like, "Look at this crazy woman." And she's just yelling. Then she sees that he's filming her, so she walks up and starts hitting him and saying, "You got to delete the video." So he smacks her and knocks her on the ground, and she goes, "I'm going to call the police and say that you hit me." She goes, "You hit me first. I was defending myself." So then he files a police report, and he goes and speaks to this officer, and the officer's like, "Well, she's telling me that you hit her first." And the guy's like, "You see the video. Watch the video." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Well, videos can be edited, sir." And I was like, and it was like, "No, it's not. It's clearly not edited. Like
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
you can clearly see." And he goes, "Well, I can't just go off of a video." But he's going off of this woman's statement. And then he goes, "I want to speak to your man. I want to speak to your sergeant. I want to speak to a higher up person." And the sergeant comes out and goes, "Yeah, we're going to arrest her for battery."
Oh,
It was
okay,
like
good.
totally one and done, but it was just so weird because this one officer was like, "Yeah, no, I don't think anything bad happened,
You
or
know-
I don't believe your story."
You know what it is, Lori, and you and I talked about this recently. There is something to do with pretty privilege. I'm not even saying this woman was pretty. It could be just that she's
No,
a woman.
she
But
was
people
not.
yeah, but people have certain privileges. And with pretty privilege or female privilege, where it's just like people will side with somebody even when they're clearly wrong for whatever. It could be a rich privilege. There's somebody I know who's very wealthy, and people always laugh at his jokes, even when they're not funny.
Yeah,
I'm always like, that wasn't funny.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
look, I wish I was wealthy. So, so yeah, there is something to do
you
with
sure
privilege.
ain't
And
pretty.
Speaking of, I saw the very beautiful and beautiful and wonderful Star and her fiance Lori yesterday. They took me out for my birthday. We met up in the Arts District of LA at Versküche.
Verse, that's what it's called.
Oh, la la.
Yeah, and
Got a wiener.
so when I showed up, I was just a tad, like a couple minutes early, and Star shows up, and it's just Star by herself. And I go, "Where's Lori?" And she's like, "Oh, she's parking the car." And then Lori was like, Lori walked up. She was in such a horrible mood.
Was this
She was
fresh
like-
off the accident?
No,
I think
well,
I
yes,
actually think it was the accident. I think it was
was-
stress from the accident.
it was. But what's so weird is I'm cleaning out my car. I'm cleaning out my closet, trying to get organized, and then I'm like fine for most of the day. I go pick up groceries. I get in the accident. I do the police report, make an insurance claim. I'm fine. I take a shower. I'm fine. I drive to pick up Star, and I have the worst headache.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I should get an ibuprofen." I was like, "No, I don't want to, because I rely on ibuprofen too much." So I was like, "I don't want to take an ibuprofen. If I just let it might pass." Well, it just got worse and worse to the point where like I'm at dinner and I'm thinking maybe I need to eat something. So we eat something and it's still bad. And it's just like just Joe and Star talking was like nails on a chalkboard for me.
Yeah.
Like it was like them
Well,
just having a
that's a normal day.
conversation. I was
Yeah.
just like the sound just hit my skull so hard. And so eventually I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Star has like a medical bag in her purse. So I just went to the back to the car and got some ibuprofen. And then I took my water jug with me and I
Yeah.
just drank a bunch of water. And eventually I started feeling better. But
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah.
I will say, Star did this weird thing. It was so bizarre. So Lori's like, "Do you have your medical bag in the car?" And Star's like, "Yeah, I do." Like whispering it. And Lori's like, "Can I go get it?" And she's like, "Lori, yes, but it's in the compartment." And so Lori's like, "Okay, I know where it is." And she goes, "Lori, okay. Once you get it, I need you to hide it back where it was." And I go, "If you're that concerned, Star," I go, "why don't you just have her bring it with her?" No.
It's too big.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's a big purse.
Imagine like a pop-up tent.
I'm
That's
So
like-
she was so weird. She
have
was so
to-
freaked out. She was so freaked out that it was going to get broken into because she had her computer bag and then her lunch bag and her purse.
Okay.
So I have this thing on the back of my the car seat in the trunk where it's like a thing where you can put things in. It's like a compartment that you hook to the back seat, and then you can put stuff in these little like pockets, right?
Yeah.
So and then I have this little trunk organizer that's just like a box essentially with little like sections. And so what she did is she flipped up the little flap, the storage thing that I have hooked to my back seat, and put her purse and computer and lunch bag in there. And then she shoved the car organizer all the way to the back. Well, she was so worried that I wasn't going to be able to recreate that hiding spot that she was like, had to be like, okay, Lori, remember, you have to pull the car organizer back. You have to flip it up. Then you take the stuff out. Then you have to put it exactly where you found it. She was so freaked out that I was just going to like throw everything around. So part of me wanted to do that just to be
Yeah.
like, I don't know what's going on.
So it was a very lovely dinner. We had a really nice time. And afterward, so when I was waiting for Lori and Star, I went and got sampled the new flavors at Salt and Straw, which I have to say everyone was amazing. And I go, you know what? I kind of want a little scoop of Salt and Straw. So we were at dinner for like almost a couple hours. And I go, let's walk over to Salt and Straw. Oh, by the way, Jay, just so you know, side story. I just listened to season 5, episode 1, like I was telling you earlier. And that's the episode where we reminisced about when Lori got in a fight with a homeless person outside of Umami Burger.
Yeah, seems to pop up every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is with Lori. She's attracted another homeless person.
So there was this homeless guy there's like a partition of like leaves or something, and you can't really see across the street, but you can kind of piece it like if you look in a certain way. And there's this homeless guy sitting on the curb just moaning.
Yeah, like,
And I'm like,
like that.
what is he doing?
Yeah.
So, and everyone else was like, I don't want to look. And I was like, I kind of want to see what
Star,
he's
I
doing.
know. I'm with Lori on this. And Star was like, don't look. Don't look. And meanwhile, he's like,
Ah!
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
He was
he's
rubbing
like-
his feet.
and yeah. And
Oh.
Star's like, don't look. Don't guys. Don't look. And the screamings are just getting loud. The screams are just getting louder. Well, one of the things we talked about with the Umami Burger story was the guy was asking for a burger. You know, I will say Verskucha did it right. They were like basically like, dude, we'll give you a free meal
Yeah.
if you just leave.
He walked in, and like the owner or somebody immediately clocked it, went inside and said, you need to leave, but we'll give you food. And the guy's like, okay, so he just sits down. But what I was terrified of is he was like literally looking at all the patrons and trying to make eye contact. So I was just like, just don't make eye contact. Because I
Because
knew
for
if I
people
made eye contact with him, he'd be talking to us for hours. Because that's my luck with homeless people.
Were you on the patio? Because I kind of
Yeah.
trying to picture. Yeah,
Yeah.
So the patio faces like not a busy street, but like an offshoot. And downtown is kind of, I would say, in LA, kind of the most aggregated area for like unhoused homeless people. So
Yeah.
And there was this beautiful twink who just kept walking by over and over. I was like, ugh.
He was like weirdly
worker?
walking by a lot. No, he was just some random dude who just kept walking back and forth. And Joe said he looked like David Archuleta. I don't think he looked like David
no,
Archuleta at
like
all.
he was David Archuleta-ish.
But yeah, he was just. I was like, maybe
David
he's clocking
Archuleta.
you. Joe looks good. He does have dad legs, which is like when you have sort of like a stomach, but then you have weirdly muscular legs. So he does.
I've never heard
does-
that term before.
I
Yeah,
never heard it
he has-
either.
He has dad, where it's like he doesn't really have much of a stomach now. He just has like a little paunch, but he has like really muscular legs, which I was like, oh, okay, good for you, dude.
How do you
Yeah,
feel
he
about people
looks
talking
good.
about your looks, Joe?
You know, it's something I have to get used to. That's one of the reasons I just have to get used to it. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. So anyway, so we go, and as we're walking to Salt and Straw, there's a new tattoo place that opened
Wait,
up.
salt and straw.
Yeah.
Salt and straw.
Salt and Straw Republic.
Y-
And
yeah.
and there's a new tattoo/piercing place, and Star's like looking at it as if a child passed a toy store.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we love tattoo places.
Yeah, there's
Anytime we
these,
go,
like,
we check it
yeah.
out. We
So
check
then I
'em out.
go, do you guys want to go over there? And this is very Star. She's very like Jay when you try to offer him something. She's like, I don't know. I'm like, let's just go. It's like, okay. So then she's like, I don't know if I like it, whatever. And then she walks in. Have you ever, what's it called, Lori? That you got, okay. Spoiler alert.
Tooth-
Not
teeth
only did,
Gems.
what did you, teeth gem? There's an
Teeth gems.
advertisement that says, for sale, teeth gems.
Well, I was gonna go initially and see what their how much their flash costs, because flash are like designed tattoos, and it could range anywhere from like $50 to $600 or whatever. Or
Would you
more.
guys have gotten a tattoo just on a whim like that with no like?
I
prep?
have before. I just
Oh.
I have to. It has to be something that I really like.
That's weird because you're known for not being impulsive. So
Yeah, but you have to stay out of water in the sun. I guess I've had to plan mine.
Well,
out
I'm
for
not
that
a
stuff.
water person. I don't know what
Oh.
you think of me that you
Jay,
think I'm
Lori,
constantly
you
going in the
literally-
water.
Lori was carrying a gigantic
I'm not
jug
bait.
of water.
I'm not swimming in it. I
Lori, when
drink
I
water.
When I saw you 4th of July ago, you wouldn't get out of the water.
Yeah, remember she did.
Yeah, because
Jay,
you guys kept telling
remember
us that
she
the
insisted
jacuzzi
on
was
getting
gonna
in the
start
hot
warming.
tub.
I
That
know.
was- we
that
talked
was
about
Star.
this on
That was
season
Star.
5,
I
episode
didn't want
1.
to do it. I didn't want to do it. Star made me.
Episode 1
And you
was
guys
a
kept
landmark
gaslighting
episode.
us that the jacuzzi was eventually going to start warming up, and it never did. And we were in lukewarm water for like an hour.
Yeah.
And finally, we get out, and then Jay goes, "Oh, I could have figured it out."
Yeah.
I don't know really who to blame here because it really is. I don't know who like
You,
who would
both of
sit-
you.
I don't know who would sit in the water for that long, and I don't know who wouldn't have asked for help for the app for
It's
that long.
somebody who loves being in the water and somebody who's loves that person. That's who would.
So
do it.
anyway, so we go to this gem place, and that was a tattoo place that was for sale. They were having a sale on teeth gems, and they seem very like, yeah, this place doesn't look legit. Not that it looked not legit. That it didn't look like it was the kind of place they would get a tattoo at.
Yeah, the
So-
flash was on a board. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't even. It was on the floor. It wasn't
It also
even.
didn't even seem like a tattoo parlor. It seemed like they sold like iPhone accessories. It was really
Yeah.
weird.
Sounds like they're
Okay.
really pushing a tooth gem, which
Yeah.
I'm assuming is just a gem in your mouth.
Yeah.
So then
I got
Jay,
one.
okay, so Jay,
Oh.
so then
my
Star
God.
goes, I think I might get one. And so while they're talking about it, Lori and I go and get ice cream. Yeah, look, she's got
Oh.
a star. Lori go and I get ice cream, and I go, well, my meters. I got the alarm that my meter ran out. I go, I'm gonna go. I'll go say goodbye to Star. And I go and I say goodbye to Star, and I leave. And Star was thinking about getting a tooth gem. Next thing I know, I get home half an hour later, and Lori's like, I got one too. So Star and Lori now have tooth gems.
Yeah,
So-
Star got like 3 or 4. It's really cute. She got like 2 on this tooth, and then I think 1 or 2 on this tooth. But I was sort of like, I don't know. But since high school, I've wanted a gold tooth. I thought that would be really cool. So I was like, I would like a gold tooth, and she's like, well, they have gold jewelry that you can get. So I looked, and then I saw the star, and I was like, oh, I like this star. And so, it was nice. Star says I got it because I'm obsessed with her.
I know she
And I
told me
was
she
like,
texted me that. So anyway, it was a really nice time, and I think we're gonna have. I have told you, like I said, I have a hard out today. I think we have to call that a day for the tea.
Oh, it's perfect timing.
Very good little. Oh wait, wrong one. What's this one?
I was watching.
Sorry.
Oh, rubbing my feet. I did hear the music that you used for one of the shows, like the royalty free, on some reality TV show, and I was like,
Oh, I hear it
that's-
all the time.
That's
I
something
hear it all
from,
the
and I
time.
can't remember which one it was.
Yeah,
I'll keep an
I
ear
hear it all
out.
the time. So Lori, what do you have going on for the next couple of weeks? What can we look forward to in the next episode of the tea?
Well, I think I'm going to a union conference in Los Angeles. I think
Which
it's
is weird
for
because last time you were on the
equity.
Confederate side.
So it's for like social equity or something.
mhm.
So that'll be fun. And then I'll be packing for Chicago, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, also you and I are going to see each other tomorrow for Jay's
That's
birthday.
right.
We're all getting
Yeah.
together, but Jay's strangely not showing up.
God, that's actually
Well,
like
it's
my
not-
ideal situation. You guys go have fun.
It's not for. It just happens to be on Jay's birthday. It's not
Yeah.
for Jay's birthday.
But all the afterthought hosts are getting together. What I am thinking of doing is, I still have Let's Talk About It books. I think we should have everybody there sign it, and we can sell those too.
So,
Jay,
okay.
what do you got going on?
would people buy that?
People already bought half of them.
Oh. what am I doing? Court is coming up. I guess that's the most important thing. So I'm sure I'll have an update on the next thing. Are we sick of the story yet? I don't know. It's pending. So that's really the biggest thing. And
I'm
then
not sick
I
of
am
it.
going to go to New York in August, but we'll figure that out. So that's it.
All right, sounds good. I'll see most of the Afterthought hosts for Jay's birthday on Wednesday, and then I have a very busy week. Lots of movies I'm seeing.
Oh, yeah, you're seeing Long Legs.
I am seeing tonight. SDC from Afterthought is coming to town on Thursday. Lori, we should arrange maybe you and I can meet up with her.
Oh, okay.
And then my cousin's birthday party is on Saturday. The Stars Gallery showing is on Saturday. Then Mercedes and company are having like a little birthday thing for me on Sunday. It's a lot of things.
Ooh,
So
fun.
all right, yeah.
Have a good
So we
time.
will see you guys next time right here on the Tea.